So in question number 5, if you see here, so they're saying that which row in the table below shows the correct products of anaerobic respiration in humans and as well as in yeast. So now for this, as I told you, the most important diagram out of all the concepts of this chapter is the flowchart of respiration. So this is the most important one. So now they are asking the anaerobic respiration in humans and as well as in yeast. So if you take in yeast here, always anaerobic respiration, options of oxygen. So we are going to get ethanol, carbon dioxide plus energy. Same way in humans, that is what muscle cells. Presence of oxygen, we are going to get carbon dioxide, water, and energy. This is normal respiration. If it is lack of oxygen in our muscle cells, we are going to get lactic acid plus energy. So this is what is the products. So that is the same thing they are asking. So in humans and yeast, they are asking humans and yeast. So humans, lactic acid is producing. Next, yeast, what is it producing? Yeast, ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. So ethanol is there, is not there. So next, yeast, lactic acid is not producing. So correct only. So wherever it is producing, it is also wrong. So carbon dioxide is producing, so it is correct. So only option 2 is matching for us. So we are taking the option 2. Do all clear everybody? Mr. Pugal, Johan. So that is
Yes,
what.
sir.
So this is the flow chart is very, very important. Even for 3 mark, many year they will ask us. So you have to draw even the papers, previous year's papers, those who are doing, you can see that how they are asking this. So please kindly remember that this is the one of the most important flow chart in this chapter. So breakdown of glucose. So now coming to the next question. So read the following two statements and answer the questions. So gastroparesis, it is regarding the ulcer actually. It is a disease in which the muscles of the stomach become paralyzed and cannot contract or relax. So our stomach, you all knows when the food is passing through our stomach, so three different kind of substances releases. Anybody tell what is the three different substances? I want to know. Anyone? Stomach, three different substances will releases. What is that? Please speak, guys. Hydrochloric acid.
And
Next one.
pepsin,
Pepsin and trypsin.
mucus.
Yes. So pepsin and mucus. So these are the three substances which will released by our stomach for digestion. So now the foods high in fats can delay the process of digestion and emptying of the stomach. So which of the following food would be advised to a patient suffering from gastroparesis? So what is the food you will prefer? Anybody? So he cannot able to digest the fats, first thing. So fats means, so chicken we cannot be. So chicken salad, the chicken soups we cannot be because it is having a fat. So we'll avoid the fats. Next, milk also contains large amount of fats, proteins. So what is the only thing we can? Everybody. Yes, please. Ice creams also will be having a fat content because we are adding what is that synthesized sugars and all. So what is the only food we can prefer? Everybody, gastro people means they can have only fruit juices and as well as a vegetable soups and all. So that is what option A is the correct one. So here avoid, always see most of the questions go with the avoiding elimination option so that you all can get the correct answer. So next one, which row of the table given below, which row of the table given below correctly gives the movement of gases across blood and cells. Across the blood and cells. Please answer once this concept is over. Tomorrow I will show you some different questions. There is a PDF which entirely different questions that we are going to make it. So please complete this one fastly, all of you. So understand what is the question they are saying. Which row of the table given below correctly gives the movement of gases across the blood and cells? So first of all, if you read this question, first you need to remember about the movement of gases in the blood. So we all know blood contains RBC, WBC, and then platelets, and then some other thing. So RBC will majorly carries anybody. RBC carries what gas? Everyone. All of you?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. So all of you observe this one. So read the questions and you can understand the process also they have given. Diffusion, osmosis and all. So first, anyhow, oxygen from RBC only. RBC, 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 everywhere RBC. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide to cells, process diffusion from cells to RBC, osmosis. So let us see all the options now. Which option is matching will make it. But this concept is there in book. Can you tell me anybody the page number first? Because so that you will understand how to read book. Anyone? Where is that? Observation. Have you find anybody? Where is the RBC cells? Hurry. I think here it will comes. Is there any particular place regarding RBC transportation? Anyone? While reading time, you might be fine, correct? You can tell. No? Anybody find it anywhere? Anywhere? I'm asking you only now. If you have found it, you can tell me. Then we can choose that. Yeah. Here. So blood consists of a fluid medium called plasma in which the cells are suspended. So plasma transports food, carbon dioxide, and nitrogenous waste in dissolved form. Plasma transports food, carbon dioxide, nitrogenous waste in dissolved form. Oxygen is carried by the red blood corpuscles. So many other substances like salts are also transported by the blood. So we thus need a pumping organ to push the blood around the body, a network of tubes to reach all the tissues and a system in place to ensure that this network can be repaired if damaged also. So this is what transportation. So now the question you can see RBC carries, they're saying RBC carries oxygen and plasma carries the carbon dioxide and other nitrogenous wastes. So now here they are saying oxygen and carbon dioxide. You can see. So RBC, oxygen from RBC to the cells. So what is the process? And from cells to the plasma. So of course we found two things here. What is that all of you see here? Who is carrying CO2? All of you? CO2 is carried by whom? Plasma.
Plasma.
And oxygen is carried by whom? RBC. So these two things is only very important for us. So forget about all and you can see here. So what happened everyone? Here, all the options, all of you verify. So plasma is only two places. So here RBC is there. So I will avoid the option one. Second one, RBC, yeah, RBC plasma is there. Okay, I'll keep it. RBC is there. So because here we are having two, one is oxygen, another one is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide definitely, who is that? RBC or plasma? All of you. Plasma. Oxygen, RBC. So two things you have to remember that. So two options I eliminated. So option 3 and option 1 gone. Now only option 2 and option 4. So let us go with RBC now. So RBC cells. So all of you observe very carefully. In plants, we'll use a process, call it as a plants, the transportation of water and all. What is the process we'll use? All of you. Speak, guys. Plants, they will use what process? Osmosis process. And in humans, whatever we are taking, RBC or WBC, that process is called something. Anybody tell? There is a word that is also. Hari, have you find a word diffusion in the here? Anybody? Hari, nobody is there in the class. Such a people, right people. Is there anybody in the class or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Better stop the classes. Nonsense, what you people. You people are all read the class book correct. I am asking you, is there events? Then you have to tell correct. In multicellular organisms, all the cells may not be in direct contact with the surroundings environment. So the simple diffusion will not meet the requirement of all the cells. So we have seen previously how the multicellular organisms, various body parts have specialized in the functions of their perform. So we are familiar with the idea of these specialized tissues and with their organisms in the body of the organisms. So it is therefore not surprising that uptake of food and oxygen will also be the function of specialized tissues. However, this poses a problem since the food and oxygen are not taken up the place in the body of the organism. So we all knows that single cellular organism, no specific organs for taking the food and exchange of gases or removal of waste may be needed because entire surface of the organism in contacting with environment. So for them, a simple process, simple diffusion is sufficient. But human beings, as we are multicellular organism, a diffusion alone is not sufficient to meet the required oxygen. So we need a special organs for every biological process. That is what we are studying. And plants, transportation in plants, where is that? We are life process. So the process which is involving in the human beings is diffusion. The process which is involving in the plants, transportation in plants, if you see, so there is a word, where is the transportation in plants? What is the page number of transportation in plants? Hmm. So transportation in human beings, this is, where is the transportation in plants, Amma?
94.
94. Hmm. So transportation in plants, if you see here, so they will use here osmosis process. So for roots absorption and all, we have seen that the absorption of water with the help of xylem and all. So they will use the process of what? Actually, osmosis. Here you can see that at the roots, the cells in the contact with the soil actively taken up ions. This creates the differences in the concentration of the ions between the roots and the soil. So where therefore it will be moves into the root from the soil to the eliminate the differences. So that is what the process, the uptaking of everything, we used to call it as basically osmosis process. So that balancing the ions from outside to inside. So plants always it will takes osmosis, and human beings, of course, the diffusion process only it will be transported from everything. So that is what. So with the help of that, you can see here. So where is the option? So RBC, oxygen from RBC to the cells, it will be transported. Then same way by the process of diffusion. So the same way from carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide from cells to the what? Cells to the plasma. by the process of diffusion. Reverse. So middle who is there? RBC, cells and as well as plasma. So RBC they will supply the oxygen, cells they will give the carbon dioxide to the plasma. So this is middle some process will takes place. What is the process will takes place? Everybody. The name of the process is what? What is the process, Amma? Respiration. So respiration, what will happen? The oxygen will be used, they will release the energy, and along with that, the wastage will release. That is what carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide has to be brought outside. That is what hand over to the plasma. So option B, option 4 is the correct answer. So please mark it. Clear everyone? Understand? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Make it. Don't know means learn. Next, read the following statements. The X amount of carbon dioxide is produced per molecule of a glucose during aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration means what? Presence of oxygen or absence of oxygen? Everybody?
Presence of oxygen.
Presence of oxygen. So amount of carbon dioxide produced per molecule of glucose during fermentation by the yeast. Fermentation process means what? Absence of oxygen or presence of oxygen? Everybody?
Absence of
Absence of
oxygen.
oxygen or presence of oxygen? Everyone?
Absence of
Absence of oxygen. So keep it in mind, this is anaerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, and this is aerobic respiration. Now, which of the following is true about X and Y they are asking? So, both cases carbon dioxide is releasing. Both cases carbon dioxide is releasing. Now they are asking which is true. X is more than Y, X is less than Y, X is equals to Y or cannot be determined. So all of you observe very carefully. Amount of carbon dioxide produced per molecule of a glucose during aerobic respiration. Amount of carbon dioxide produced per molecule of a glucose during fermentation by yeast. So now what is your expected answer? Anybody can tell in which case the complete process will takes place. So wherever the complete reaction takes place, there the more amount of products will come. So in which case the complete reaction will takes place, everybody? In aerobic or anaerobic?
aerobic respiration.
Aerobic respiration. So keep it in mind. Aerobic respiration always complete process will takes place so that there it will produce the more amount of products, whatever it is. So 1 mole of glucose will undergoes, that is what? 1 mole of glucose in undergoes aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So we are going to get more amount of carbon dioxide. See here anaerobic respiration, that is what we can say is fermentation. So fermentation process, we are having a products of ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. And here we are getting carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. So where the complete action will takes place, there we are going to get the greater amount of products. So where in which case we'll get the more amount of carbon dioxide? Everybody? Yes, please.
Aerobic respiration.
Aerobic respiration. Now, sir, this question is there in the book. Can I show you? Everybody? Is there anybody who those who read the textbook, they will find this question. See, when you read this question, nobody can answer this question because you people don't know, because they have not given the equations. Suppose if they have given the equations like chemistry, suppose they will say here 2 moles of CO2, here 5 moles of CO2, then we can say it. Am I right, guys? Yes or no? Please respond. Everybody? Clear or not? So that we can say. But here there is no equation given for aerobic and anaerobic respiration. But all of you read that paragraph. This paragraph you all sees. Directly we can find. The release of energy in this aerobic process is a lot greater than in the anaerobic process. Sometimes, when there is a lack of oxygen in our muscle cells, another pathway for the breakdown of pyruvate is taken place. That is what convert into lactic acid, which is also a 3-carbon molecule. So this build up a lactic acid and suddenly activity causes cramps. So here clearly they are mentioning. So sometimes here the release of energy, everything. So what will happen? Energy is releasing more means then product also releasing more. Which one? Waste product, carbon dioxide. So three carbon pyruvate molecules to give the three molecules of carbon dioxide. So clearly you will be having here, you can see all of you. From here we will go with that. So the process takes place in the yeast during fermentation. Fermentation, since this process takes place in the absence of air, oxygen, this is called anaerobic respiration. So breakdown of pyruvate using oxygen takes place in the mitochondria. So this process breaks up the three carbon pyruvate molecules to give the three molecules of carbon dioxide. So other product is water. So since this process takes place in the presence of air, this is called it as a aerobic respiration. So in aerobic respiration, how many molecules of carbon dioxide will come? Everybody? How many molecules of carbon dioxide will come? All of you?
Three molecules.
Three molecules. Three molecules of carbon dioxide. But here you can see, is there anything they mentioned that also we can see here. So yeah, breakdown of glucose, 6 carbon molecule in 3 carbon molecules called pyruvate. This process takes place in the cytoplasm. Further, the pyruvate may be converting into ethanol and carbon dioxide. So this process takes place in yeast during the fermentation. So since this process takes place in the absence of oxygen, so it is, so they are not talking about that. So please remember that wherever the complete respiration takes place, that is what complete process. So there we will get the more amount of products, more energy will release, so that other substances also definitely the more will release. So that is what it is. So what is the correct answer? Everybody. Yes, please. X is more than Y.
More than Y.
X is more than Y. That is what you have to remember. Completed everybody? Do you understand all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Right, next. Human beings exhibit double circulation, so we're all familiar with that. So during which blood is passed through the lungs and heart. Now, state the route of the first and the second circulation through the chambers of the heart and explain the usefulness of such circulation in humans. Okay, first part. Next, name. Name the blood vessels that carry oxygenated blood from lungs to the heart, carry deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. Let us answer B part first. That is what Roman number 1 and 2, because we can easily answer, we all knows that. So anybody tell me, carry the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. What is the name it is called?
Pulmonary vein.
Pulmonary? Pulmonary vein or pulmonary artery? Everybody. The one and only vein which will carries the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart is pulmonary. Yes, please.
Vein.
Pulmonary vein. So it is there. Here you can see our heart. So which will bring the pulmonary vein is the only one which will bring the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the home. Everybody. From the lungs to the left aorta, right aorta, ma. To the left or right? Left atrium. Understanding? So pulmonary vein. Next one. The carry deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. Who will carry the deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs?
Pulmonary artery.
Pulmonary artery to the lungs. Pulmonary artery to the lungs. So that is what. So one and only artery which will carries the deoxygenated blood is the pulmonary artery, which will carry only the vein which will carry the oxygenated blood is the pulmonary vein from the lungs. Clearly it is mentioned. So please remember that. Now A part. So A part they are asking. B part over A part. It is a 3 mark. It is a 3 mark question, Amma. So A part carries 2 mark and B part half mark plus half mark. You will get 1 mark. So A part you see. State the route of the first and the second circulation through the chambers of the heart. That is 1 mark. And explain the usefulness of such circulation in humans. What is the usefulness of such circulation? Anybody? Why we have a 2?
Efficient oxygen supply.
So we are having here, you can see, so oxygen enters the blood in the lungs. There is the two methods of circulation we have. So they mentioned here, where is that? Yeah, first chambers will make. As the right atrium contracts, the corresponding lower chamber, the right ventricle dilates. This transfers the blood to the right ventricle, which in turn pumps to the lungs for oxygenation. So there is a two circulations we have. What is the two circulations? I have taught you also, people. Can you tell me? Two circulations. You have to tell. What is the two circulations we
Systemic
have?
respiration and pulmonary circulation.
Yes. What is the name of that? Everybody? Two circulations we have. What is the names of that? What is the names of the circulations, Amma? One is pulmonary circulation. Second one is what?
Systemic circulation.
Systematic circulation. So you have to write the two circulations. First one. So first one starts from where? Everybody. First circulation starts from lungs to the heart, and then it will goes from where to where? Pulmonary artery, deoxygenated blood from pulmonary artery to the lungs back. So that is one circulation. So basically starts from right article. So right article, it will goes to the lungs, and then from lungs to the, it will comes to the right left atrium. So that is the first circulation. Then second circulation from where? Left ventricle to the main aorta, left ventricle to the main aorta, which will carries the blood to the entire body. So from left to the main aorta to the body organs, main artery. So then body organs back to the what? Veins back to the right right atrium. So this is the second thing. So two circles we have, two circulations we have. So when left this work supply, you have to write it very thing. So oxygenated blood, one circulation, deoxygenated blood, another circulation. So you have to write it. So please write the two names. And what is the use of this one? Anybody? Why we have these two? Because we are actually what? Monocellular, single cellular organism or multicellular organism? Everybody? Yes, please. We are
Multi.
multicellular organisms. So for us, what will happen? The supply of oxygen is not sufficient. So we need a lot of energy for surviving, a lot of energy for doing all the metabolic activities, so that it needs to be continuously supply the large amount of oxygen for the respiration process. So that is why you can see. So even we have, what will happen first? First circulation, oxygenated blood from the lungs basically comes to the left atrium to the left ventricle, then it will passes to the whole body. Then the second one, during the second circulation, deoxygenated blood comes to the right atrium, and then right ventricle to, it will passes to the home lungs. Then the lungs, they will fill the oxygen again. So like that, one circulation to the second circulation, two circulations continuously, the blood will comes to the heart two times. In our human beings, blood will comes to the heart in two times. One time oxygenated blood from the lungs, another time deoxygenated blood from the body parts. So the two you have to remember and you have to make it. And always the left and right is separated by a particular part to not to allow the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. What is that call it as? Everybody?
Septum.
Sector. So always that is also very important. So please remember that. So we have to write two circulations. One is from, everybody tell me circulation one. What will happen? Everybody. From the right ventricle, the blood will pushes to the lungs. From the lungs, it will be coming back to the left atrium. Circulation one. That is deoxygenated blood to the lungs, oxygenated blood to the heart. Now, from the left ventricle, blood, which blood draw? Oxygenated or deoxygenated?
Oxygenated.
Oxygenated
Oxygen.
blood will go to the body parts. From the body parts, deoxygenated blood will comes to the right atrium. That is the circulation number 2. So please remember that process. So and very, very important, this one, double circulation. So why we need and all, you have to remember that. So totally that. So that is what is the question. Even the diagram also I have given, and you are having a double circulation diagram also. So you can remember this also. So please do it. Everybody, clear everyone? This question, 3 mark question it is. If this question will come, so you have to write it very clearly. So next. So what will happen, everybody? Next one. This is what is the question. So next question you see is the major portion of the carbohydrates produced by plants is stored in different parts of the plant. That is what the storage organs. So can you tell me what is the storage organs? This is also there for us. When we are studying about the phloem, we have studied that. Anybody?
Fruits, roots,
Yes. Fruits, roots, and even of course stem also there is.
seeds,
Yeah, that is what. So explain the mechanism by which the stored food is made available when different organs need it for the growth. Anybody? A major portion of the carbohydrates produced by the plants is stored in different parts of the plant. That is what storage organs. Explain the mechanism by which this stored food is made available when different organs means what? Other parts of the plant need it for the growth. Mr. Harris recently asked me this and we discussed also in the book. Yes, anybody?
Sure.
Yeah. Any one of you? Hasini, what is that? Sorry, use of double circulation. Double circulation will allows more supply of oxygen to the body. Understand, Hasini? Because as we are multicellular organisms, so our body needs lot of supply of oxygen for the respiration process because lot of energy is needed. So it will more efficient way the required amount of oxygen will be supplied to the body. Understand, Hasini?
yes, sir.
Yeah. Oxygenated and deoxygenated blood not allows to mix so that the required amount of oxygen will be supplied to the body. That is what is the answer. Clear everybody? All of you? Now this question, can you answer it? Hari, page number, tell me, let them answer. First. Yeah, so you are talk about the food. Ma, this is about the plants. Whenever you read this question, you are talking about the food. When you talk about the food, plants always two cells are there. One is xylem, another one is phloem. So xylem will talk about the transportation of water and other XYZ minerals. Phloem will talk about the what? Always. Everybody.
Food.
Food. So when you read this question, this is the one you have to remember it. Now me, I don't want to say you. So I will show you the answer in the book. Later you can compare. So 95 and 96 page number, Mr. Harish is saying, you are all having NCRT. So please open it and you can see. Actually, this question recently we discussed it for, I think one of the assertion reason in the exam, we discussed this. Am I right, Hari? Last exam. Correct?
Not for assertion, sir. I
Yeah.
have doubt that.
Yes, yes, yes. So this is what. So transportation of food and other substances. So this is what is the paragraph will speaks about it. You can read it. You will be having that. So what the exact answer will go with that. So 1 minute. So we'll see the answer and how they are writing. We'll see. Either that answer is there or not for us. We'll make it. Okay. So what is that? Yeah. So you all see that this is a 2 mark question. So 0.5 mark for each point. So you remember the point and you have to be there. You have to identify in the book. First, sugar from the storage organs is moved to phloem using ATP energy. Is this point is there or not, Hari? Yes,
It's
it
Sir,
there,
page
sir.
9.
this increases the osmotic pressure of phloem. Yes, osmotic. I forgot. I told you now, plants osmosis and humans. What is the name of the process? Humans.